Hello, everybody. I'm Revi. I make models on Vrchat. This is my good friend, Tacos. He is our DM.
Hello, I'm Taco.
We're going to talk to you today on how we play D&D in VRChat. There's already a few people that know that there is tabletop D&D in VR, but we are talking about going into maps, playing with our characters, and acting out directly in front of the DM, kind of D&D. So, before we get started, and telling you exactly how we do it, we want to talk a little bit of the tools that you're going to be needing to play D&D in VRChat, because it's not implemented directly. It's kind of make your own thing happen. So we need a lot of tools to make it easier. Taco, you want to start by talking about the kind of websites where we can have our character sheets and all of that? I know there's a few.
Yeah, there's a few. The one we use mostly is D&D Beyond. Since we kind of started that a couple years ago, and we just kind of been sticking with that for now.
Right.
But D&D Beyond has, all your sheets, character numbers, stats, and all, roles, is everything there. There's another website called Roll20 that's also really good as well to keep your sheets and roll as well. But Roll20 is kind of, more desktop-y type of deal.
Yeah.
Since you have, the whole maps there implemented really nicely.
Yeah, you can play directly on their website, as D&D Beyond is more of a resource where you can find information, roll your dices, build your characters, but not play directly on it. Did a little bit of research. There's also something called Tabletop Wizard, but that's as far as my research went. I know it exists. I never went into it since I didn't need it, but there's more than these two as well. It's not a free service, though. We do have to buy the books to have everything we need. There is still
correct, yes,
free content, but it's not everything.
Yeah, no, it's not everything. If you want like the rule books, extended books, new things, yeah, you need to buy it. But what if you have a really cool friend that's nice enough to, make a custom campaign for you? Let them be the host and enable book sharing with them. Now you have all the content that they have for you to have. You can read whatever book you need that they have, or if something's coming up and they pre-order it, just bam, when it releases, you get everything in detail.
Basically,
really nice.
The owner of the campaign that makes can buy every book that you need, and then all the players have access to all that information, monsters, items, classes, everything's in there.
Everything. What the book has, that will be there available for you and the other players. But yeah, book sharing is really nice.
Awesome. I wanted to ask you, VRChat is freaking huge. There's a million worlds. There's a lot of things in here. How do you find worlds when you want to do a one-shot, when you want to do an episode of the campaign? How do you do it?
So that's two different things. Campaign is campaign worlds. That's going on forever. One-shots, I only need to, depending on the one-shot, it can go from one world, staying at one world, or going to like 2 or 3 worlds, depending on the one-shot. But I just make the setting, the theme for it around the one-shot or said campaign. I just try to find it in VRChat, trying to do the world search, trying keywords, and if I can't really find it there, then I just go to other websites and find worlds from there. Twitter really helps out with the photography people, because they take pictures of the world. I'm like, oh, that's perfect, exactly what I needed.
True. But what you're telling me, though, is that you don't need to be a world creator to make your worlds for D&D.
No, not at all.
And the worlds don't even need to be D&D themed or have any system of dice rolling and stuff. Like, you can take anything.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
So, with that, what I do is I make up my own lore for that world. It could be for another RP thing, but I put my own thing to that world, make my own lore, put it there. But rolling and all that's in D&D Beyond.
Right. As an example, this bar that we're in right now was used a lot throughout our first campaign, second campaign, as a base of operation. It was a bar, but you know, if you walk around this world, you'll see that it's not D&D themed per se. It's mostly Warcraft themed assets everywhere. Doesn't matter. We just say that it's our campaign, our tavern, name it differently. Imagination plays a big role in our thing, even though we are directly in it.
Yeah.
All right. That's also a little bit of why a lot of people don't know that you can play D&D in here this way. Is every time I bring it up, they're like, it's like normal D&D. You play on a tabletop world. There's probably dice and things. Yes, there are these worlds. There's worlds out there, like I had it earlier if I remember. Give me 1 second. There was a world called D&D Dungeons and Dragons by Chugachu. That is a literally table where you can build with assets like walls and bases, and you can build your little city, your little dungeon, and have, you know, mini figurines that you can put there. You use the elements of that world to build your own thing. That's not what we're doing. Ours is a lot more interactive, I guess. Involved.
Interactive, yeah.
It's definitely more immersive. That's for sure.
Oh, for sure, yeah. Way more immersive.
When you said you had plans of taking worlds to prepare for one-shots or the campaign, do you have any plans when the people in it do not follow that plan, decides to go somewhere else? Then do you have any backup worlds? Do you prepare those things?
Oh, kinda have to. Let's say that the party that I have is kind of going to the right place of the main story where I'm supposed to go, but now I see a certain keywords and now you guys are very interested in this path. So I'm like, okay, thankfully I have something backed up and I could use this world. But whenever I'm not prepared, I use improv quite a lot. Since a lot of things happen in our campaigns and things. I sometimes use worlds that are not meant to be, but kind of work good.
Right.
So it depends, really.
You do a lot of world exploration to prepare for this, right? Like in the downtime.
I do.
It's a little required if you want to make a lasting campaign and not just a one-shot.
True. One-shots are kind of better for worlds because in campaigns, unfortunately, worlds do go privated or whatever happens to the world creator.
Yeah.
You know, we don't know. I really wish that Vrchat had a little, you know, preview image of the world still there, but you know, like a blacked out thing of like world unavailable, but I can still see what world it was.
Unfortunately, Vrchat, when they remove a world, it's gone. We don't know the name of it. We just know a world is gone. So figure it out. It's the bad part of this, but it comes with a lot of good parts. So besides D&D Beyond, Roll20 or Tabletop Wizards, what other tools do we need or do we use to run the campaign more efficiently in Vrchat?
Okay, so for you as a player, you only need D&D Beyond. That's literally what you need.
Pretty much.
Now, whoops. For DMs, if you have this available for you, Access Overlay, it was free, but now you gotta pay for it. I have that. I have to pull up multiple screens, and I do like to have my screen on the left side or right side to have multiple things on, and I can see them quickly. It's like my invisible DM screen. literally.
Yeah, we can't see
But yeah. They could see me, messing around with it. I'm just,
Yeah.
kind of waving around my hand. So maybe you guys might get nervous.
That reminds me, fun part about D&D Beyond, we can have roles that the players cannot see. You can roll for yourself or roll for the entire party. So DMs hiding their roles, like behind the screen, is a possible thing.
Yep.
You were saying access.
More suspenseful.
I'm sorry. Sorry, didn't want to cut you off. You were saying access overlay. That's for Steam, correct?
Yes, Steam only.
Gotcha. People on Oculus, I think, already have a little tool amongst the program that lets you pop up a window. So you can have any windows there.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to know, because we have worlds that we go to, but you also made maps for the players.
Oh, yeah. Like actual maps.
Yeah, like a big map that we can interact with. We even included it on the models here so that whenever we want to go somewhere, we can pull out the map and point to where we want to go or what we think we want to go to, because Taco here implemented secrets and interest things on the map as well. So looking at it is not just for direction. There is some hidden things among it. What did you use to make that?
I use Wonder Draft. It's a really amazing and nice app to create maps for D&D. It could be world maps or actual maps for like D&D. You can use a square grid, make a whole town out of it. It's pretty nice. You go you can also add add-ons to Wonder Draft and add more and more add-ons to add more creativity and pop to your maps. It's pretty nice.
By add-on, do you mean like they give you different creatures, different trees, different buildings?
Yeah.
And just, okay.
Exactly, yeah.
Cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
Is that a paid program?
Yes, it is.
Gotcha.
It's a paid program, yeah.
Not anything, necessary. If you have it, that's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
But you can use anything to make a map. You can use paint if you want, just circle a little thing. It's key visuals that help the players, then it's all good.
Mm-hmm.
That's all tools outside the game, but we also have tools within Vrchat that we made ourselves. They're not necessary, but they help a lot if you want to follow some rules a little bit more tightly. Like we have grids that we can pop up and just have the movement grid of D&D laid out on any world. We have ranges that we can use the same way to know if a spell reaches a certain player. We have position markers for enemies and players.
Oh yeah. Bosses as well.
Bosses as well now, and also sizes now as well of bosses.
Sizes is like the main thing, like to get like a grasp of how big like this giant ogre type creature is, 15 feet square, so you can see how much exactly he takes up.
Yeah.
If you're within the attack range and anything, and etc.
This is very important before getting smacked.
It is. Yeah.
Although not necessary, though, because you can always eyeball pretty much anything in here. You have, depth perception. You can tell, like, this is, 10 feet, 15 feet. You can kind of just guess it. And as for markers, we can, before we implemented ours, you can use just your camera. Just drop your camera in place. You'll have your little floating eyeball thing there. If you have VRC Plus, you can have prints. You can have stickers. Those could work really well.
Yeah. They're very easy. Prints, I'm a huge fan. I freaking love prints. Yeah, you could just literally take a picture of you, like you as a player, and I place you here, just floating around.
Yeah.
I take a picture of my other friend, create a print, and put him over there. It's really nice.
You've also used the prints a lot for whenever we fight a certain monster and we want to know what does it look like. Like, we don't have all the monsters in here. Like, the imagination, like I said, plays a big part. So he just makes a print. That's the monster. We have our idea and we'll fight whatever. Like, It's a good tool already implemented in VRChat Plus.
Yeah.
Other than that, there is another tool that we use very, very, very often, and it's Discord.
Oh yeah, Discord. Yeah. Usually before doing the D&D session, all the players are here. Yes, that's nice, but if the map is too large and the voice cutoff is pretty dramatic, I may be over the mountains and I don't want players to follow me. I could speak to them in VC, have them all in the VC chat, and if I say all right, you guys can move, they can now hear me and give the other info to other players.
Mm-hmm. It helps keep information separate, or just hearing everything at, get a model that's huge fighting a giant. He's 20 feet tall. We lose audio after 10 feet. We don't know what he's yelling up there, so that's also a good thing.
I do want to point out another website I use for D&D, and that is Watch Together. Have all of my party members and me included to put music, sound effects, or I might use some other things like a soundboard to make sound effects. But mainly it's for music, for Watch Together. Gotta be immersed with the music and, get probably spooked.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. Yep. Gotten me with just music alone.
Mm-hmm.
And we're talking about VR chat a lot, but without the VR part, like if we want to do this desktop, that's possible too. You don't need VR to be playing.
Possible. No, you don't need it. Nope. You can just run around on desktop. Yeah, you won't be immersed as, moving around, moving your legs and hands around. But desktop is completely fine. You don't need to use VR.
You don't even need to use audio. Let's say you're not a DM though, because DM's always good to, be able to tell the players. But players now have little chat boxes in VR chat. So if you're mute or unable to speak for whatever reason, text chat. That works too.
Yep. Mm-hmm. It's pretty nice. Pretty handy.
Yeah. So big advantage of doing it this way though, at least from my perspective, and I know it's not everybody's possible option, but it's having your own model, being immersed in the world with the character you represent, acting it out, and having your weapons, having grabbable things. I'm so sorry, the handle in your
You're fine.
I'm just gonna plant that there. There we go. So having all of that helps a lot to just immerse yourself in the adventure. But I understand that it's not possible for everyone, and that's the good thing, is that VRChat has millions of avatars available publicly.
Oh, a lot of avatars. Yeah.
You won't be able to modify it or add the things you want, but you'll have something that represents you. And that's already a good thing.
It doesn't have to be exactly, because if you want it to be exact, then you need to create your avatar. But let's say if you want to be Guts as your fighter or barbarian, there you go, you're fine.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, this is not exactly what you need, but there you go, it's something. People can see what you are.
Yeah. And with recent worlds like Prismic's avatar search, you can just go in there, type in some keywords, and you find something that has at least a little bit of what you're looking for. Mm-hmm. Obviously, it's avatars that exist from now all the way back to when VRChat was made, so there is some old stuff in there. Be careful of what you get. You can always test them. But yeah, all the public avatars to just use and do what you want with it.
Yep.
And
pretty nice.
Pretty much the same for worlds as well. That's what we're using.
Yeah.
We unfortunately, unless somebody links us a specific world, we can't use private worlds. But I know that some RP groups do. They have their own worlds and all. That's also pretty cool. Let me just quickly check out.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I almost forgot about that. Other advantage of having your own model or your own physical being in here, you can have your own spells, your own weapons to represent what you're doing. But you can also, because our DM allows it, Um, demonstrate your fighting moves better by telling where you want to hit, weak points, advantages. Want to take down an enemy? I want to strike him in the back of the knee, make him fall, things like that.
Mm-hmm. You want to, slice up from the armpit up, or just slash him downwards like that. You can literally show me with your weapon how you explain it, how to do it. And, well, let's say I attack you as your character like this on your right arm, going straight down. Boom, you now have a scar.
Yeah. Model maker, you can then add a scar to your model. Just little detail extra.
Mm-hmm.
Never know. Do that in a side session away from the other players, and then you show up in the real session, then they see your cool new scar, start asking questions. What the fuck happened? It happened.
Yeah. Yeah.
But all right. I did have a few questions from the Discord that I'm gonna go look at right now. Give me one moment. Our first question was from a person called Silent Sovereign. Hello, and thank you for your support. He wanted to know, how do you maintain a character sheet in VR?
Well, like, you kind of already said that. You kind of pair D&D Beyond and whatever overlay you have. Steam overlay, just the normal overlay, or Access overlay. You just have it there. And whenever you need it, when I ask you if you need to do a passive perception or a perception roll, you just bring it up and click there and roll.
There is another way.
Pretty easy.
The phone. D&D Beyond is available on phone. So, you can always
on the phone.
Tilt up your headset and just make your rolls there. DM is on the website as well. He'll see your rolls on his side appear, and yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's doable through
pretty
D&D
easy.
Beyond. Not sponsored, but...
No.
There was one more question. Let me just go here. Sorry, it's from a person called PJ. Do you use an overlay to access a desktop-based tabletop while you play? If so, which overlay and desktop tabletop? It says, or run it all in Vrchat itself, some way and how. So we don't use any kind of overlays, like those shows that do D&D, like Critical Role, Dimension 20. All of those have that nice overlay over the characters and all that with their sheet. We don't use any of that.
No.
All our information is directly on D&D Beyond, and it's mostly for individual characters, so I can only see my character. Each player can see their own. He can see everything. But other than that,
like seeing everything.
But besides that, we don't really use any type of overlay. I just record the episodes through my point of view. It's the simplest way of doing it. But yeah, it's pretty simple to come here and play when you're the player part. There's a lot more preparation for the DM, but you don't need that much to get it going.
No, don't need much at all.
So
not as much,
that's pretty much it for us two. It's explaining to you how to get in Vrchat and playing D&D. Thank you, Mr. Taco.
Thank you, Mr. Revy.
My pleasure. I hope you guys have a good day. Go have some fun with D&D and Vrchat. Bye-bye.